Welcome back, Weather Reconnaissance Team, to another weekly Weather Recon briefing. I'm your host, Russ Parsons, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today, Monday, October the 27th, 2025, bringing you the latest on what Mother Nature has in store for us. Coming to you live from Parsons, Kansas, where we have cloudy skies and 60 degrees. Can't believe we're at the end of October already. It definitely is not slowing down at all. All righty, let's get started here. We're going to take a look at last week's severe weather reports. Had some flooding here in central Kansas over the past week. Last Friday, we had some 1 3/4 inch hail reported here in central Oklahoma. Had a little bit of hail here in southwestern Oklahoma. This would have been about the Friday time frame when the cold front come through, northeast to southwest cold front here, and brought a little bit of severe weather, a little bit of severe hail along with that. Had a land spout or two out here in the Texas Panhandle. We will get into what a land spout is in a future episode of this. So stay tuned. Well, I'll describe a land spout to you and what it means and what they do. But anyway, last Friday, this past week, we had a couple land spouts out here in Texas Panhandle. Had a couple of small tornadoes, EF0, here north and west of Houston. That'd have been Saturday night late with the cold front passage. Don't believe there was a lot of damage, maybe some tree damage, a little bit of house or outbuilding damage there, and with some more scattered severe hail reports. A little bit of flooding reports too around Dallas and out here in west central Texas. But that is the severe weather reports from this past week. The reason I took this image from Kansas down to Texas is nothing to report severe weather-wise in Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota. All right, this is the hazards outlook for this Wednesday through Sunday time frame. And as you see here, the map is showing no hazards in the central, southern, and northern plain states of the United States. Got to go out here to the eastern coast, the Appalachian Mountains, heavy rainfall on the 29th of this week, and then up in the northeast and in the very northwest part of the country. But nothing happening really hazardous-wise, weather-wise, here in the plain states of the United States for this next week. This is a depiction of the surface analysis map for today. This is the forecast for today. We've got a cold front slicing through North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, and it goes back to the west here into Colorado area. Be some rainfall along this front as it progresses off to the east and southeast over the next day or two. And scattered rain, scattered showers, mainly in the green area here. And that'd be today's forecast. This is a severe weather outlook for today, Monday, October 27th. Do have just a general risk of some storms, some thunderstorms here in South Dakota, southern North Dakota, Nebraska, and northwestern Kansas. And that's along that frontal boundary here. We covered the fire weather outlook product from the Storm Prediction Center in last week's recon briefing, weekly recon briefing. If you missed that, go back and find that episode on YouTube or Facebook and take a look at the fire weather outlook product. All this means is that there's a heightened risk, elevated risk here in the orange, yellow area in eastern Colorado of fire weather. I mean, it's pretty interesting. This actually depicts that low humidity, high winds, that type of thing, where it's conducive for fires to get out of control and become a wildfire. This is Tuesday, October 28th, surface analysis chart. It shows the front, makes it onto the east here with thunderstorms, rain and thunderstorms here in the hatched areas, the green area, hatched areas throughout Missouri, Arkansas, Texas, and then back into southeastern Kansas, eastern Oklahoma, and Texas, with general rain in the rest of the plain states. The severe weather outlook for tomorrow shows just a general risk of thunderstorms, none severe, in southeastern Oklahoma and eastern Texas. And that'll be along that frontal boundary here in that general area. Wednesday surface analysis chart, Wednesday, October 29th, shows that front moving off onto the east into Missouri with the low pressure here in southeastern Missouri. The heavy rain will take place. That's what was depicted in the hazards map earlier here in the Appalachian states, Appalachian Mountains, Kentucky, Tennessee, in that area. But if you live over there, you're probably going to get some heavy rain on Wednesday. Looks like the pressure gradients here are pretty tight together, so that means we'll probably have some pretty good northerly winds on the Wednesday time frame here in the central plain states of Kansas and Nebraska. So that's something we'll keep an eye on, and some probably gusty winds coming in behind this front as it moves off to the east. And Thursday, October 30th, got another cold front with a low pressure system up here in southern Canada. Got another cold front with the associated warm front here in North Dakota and South Dakota. That'll be making its way off to the east and southeast probably by the end of the weekend, the first part of next week. That's something we'll keep an eye on, see if that's actually going to be a wet front or a dry front. The shows another front here on Friday down here into Texas and Oklahoma, Texas Panhandle and Oklahoma. That will actually be a dry front. There's no chances of rain or anything in this particular area on Friday, on Halloween. So we'll look at the forecast a little bit closer here in just a few minutes and fill you in on that. Saturday, pretty much the same thing. Not any really significant weather in the plain states. Northern plains looks good. Maybe some showers. A little bit of mixture of precipitation here in northeastern North Dakota is what it's showing. And that'll be out in front of this warm front here. But not really a lot to speak of rain-wise, even frontal boundary-wise in the plain states on Saturday. Sunday, November the 2nd. This is the second day in November already on next Sunday. It shows this cold front here making its way down into southern Kansas. Not a lot of rain or anything coming in with this particular front. It stays kind of dry with this frontal passage here throughout the plains, and not a lot of precipitation being forecasted all the way through the end of the week. Once we get through the Tuesday, Wednesday time frame of this week here in the plain states, shouldn't be too much more rain being forecasted. San Antonio for the next 7 days. It's like they're going to top out the day at 89 degrees. And with a low of 68 tonight, it's like their lows for the week will be Wednesday night and Thursday night at 49 degrees. And they'll be right around 70 degrees and then back up to around 80 degrees on Saturday and Sunday. So it looks like a pretty decent weekend in San Antonio coming up. Halloween looks like to be about 73 for a high and 51 for a low that night. So not too bad there in south central Texas. Oklahoma City, they're expecting some rain chances tonight, overnight, 30% chance of rain also tomorrow, early tomorrow time frame. It's like they'll top out at around about 71 degrees this coming Saturday, and the low will be about 39 degrees Thursday night for the low for the week. Halloween looks to be about 62 degrees for a high, 42 for low, Um, Pretty much latter half of the week gonna be sunny and clear. Wichita, Kansas. Looks like a 20% chance of rain this afternoon. And then the bigger chances of rain starts in the night. A 60% chance tonight in Wichita, 30% tomorrow, 20% tomorrow night, and a 20% Wednesday morning. So they'll have chances of rain all the way from this afternoon, this evening, all the way through Wednesday morning, it looks like. Looks like their high will top out Sunday, 66 degrees for a high. It's going to bounce back up, it looks like. 49 for a high on Wednesday, and then back up to the 60s, middle 60s by Sunday. So it looks like also the weekend here in Wichita looks to be pretty good. Halloween looks to be about 57 degrees for a high and 38 for a low. Here in Parsons, Kansas, my town where I'm bringing you this video cast. I'm supposed to have about a 20% chance this afternoon. We had a little bit of drizzle this morning also with some fog, but we're at 60 degrees right now at the airport west of town here. So I'm not sure if we quite got up to 62 today, but our rain chances will pretty much start in earnest in the morning, about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, 70% chance tomorrow throughout the day, 30% chance tomorrow night, and then a 50% chance again Wednesday. This is about a half an inch is what they're predicting over the next 3 days that we're going to top out at with this particular cold frontal passage here in Parsons. Lincoln, Nebraska's 7-day forecast shows rain chances today. 40% chance today, 70% chance of showers tonight, and that continues on into tomorrow and tomorrow night. Looks like they're going to bottom out at right around freezing mark on Wednesday night and Thursday night, and expecting some frost on the ground on Thursday morning when you wake up. So going to be kind of chilly overnight in Lincoln midweek, but they're going to bounce back up to about 66 for a high Sunday and about 50 for a low. Looking pretty good over the weekend. So far in the central and southern plains, we'll take a look at the northern plains now. Pierre, South Dakota, middle of South Dakota here. They're supposed to have a 60% chance of rain today during the day and a 60% chance of rain tonight. Showers mainly, not any thunderstorms, but mainly just rain and showers. Cloudy skies tomorrow on Tuesday, and looks like pretty sunny skies for the rest of the week, topping out at about 61 on Sunday, and down to about 29 degrees Wednesday night for the low. So pretty much up and down all week. Decent weekend. Get out there and do something this coming weekend. There in Pierre, South Dakota. Looks like a pretty promising weekend coming up. Minot, North Dakota. Next 7 days here. 80% chance of rain today. 40% chance tonight. Looks like they're going to top out about 55 degrees over the weekend, the upcoming weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and get down to about 26 Tuesday night for the low for the week, and lower 30s to the middle 30s by the middle to the end of the week here. Not too bad for North Dakota. Looks like everybody's going to be rebounding, weather or temperature wise anyway. For the highs, looks to be going to be pretty nice throughout the plain states of the United States. Looking pretty good for the upcoming weekend. No rain forecasted, and pretty decent temperatures, rebounding from the cooler temperatures we had over the past week here. This is our trick-or-treat forecast. I decided to do something a little special here. Trick-or-treat time about 6 to 7 p.m. on Friday, this coming Friday. San Antonio, you look to be about 61 degrees for trick-or-treat time. Oklahoma City, about 57 degrees. Wichita, 51 degrees. Here in Parsons, it'll be about 52. Lincoln, Nebraska, you'll be about 50 for trick-or-treat time. And Pierre, South Dakota, 46 degrees. In Minot, North Dakota, it'll be about a cool 41 degrees by the time it's time to go out and take the kids out and do some trick or treating on Friday. This is our next 7 days, October 27th to the November the 3rd, the total 7-day precipitation forecast. Looks like here in eastern Nebraska, eastern Kansas, down into eastern Oklahoma. This will be with the frontal passage on Tuesday here in Kansas and Oklahoma areas. Predicted, forecasted that we will get anywhere from about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch here in eastern Oklahoma and eastern Kansas, eastern Nebraska, eastern North Dakota, with a little bit more, maybe up to about 1.5 inch, 1.25 to 1.5 inch in the very northern part of North Dakota. In this area, a little over 1 inch here in this area out here in central North Dakota. So it looks like the winner of the chicken dinner this week will be North Dakota with the most amount of rainfall this week. But that will all be early on with this frontal passage that's happening from today through tomorrow and Wednesday morning. This is today's Atlantic tropical weather outlook. Right now we are dealing with Hurricane Melissa out here in the Caribbean Ocean here. This right here is Jamaica. This is eastern Cuba and Haiti here. Melissa, we'll look at the next map here and we'll see what direction she's headed. Melissa was moving due west yesterday and today, and it's supposed to make a hard north turn and back off to the north and east here. Right now it is a major hurricane, Category 5 hurricane, which is the top of the list. Over 110 mile an hour winds. They've got hurricane warnings out now for Jamaica, eastern Cuba, with tropical storm warnings out here in Haiti, I believe. But this is the next 7-day forecast, at least through Friday, 2 p.m. This is where it's depicted to be. I believe it's supposed to weaken a little bit once it gets through the Bahamas area and then back out here into the central Atlantic Ocean. But at this point in time, it is not forecasted to affect the Gulf states, the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America states here off the southern United States or the east coast of the United States. So hopefully this forecast stays on for the next 7 days. The folks being affected the most are going to be Jamaica. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. I got a little special presentation here in just a second, and we'll cover that a little bit more depth. The Eastern Pacific tropical weather outlook for today, we're dealing with Tropical Storm Sonia. It's not giving up out here in the Eastern Pacific Ocean, tropical weather-wise. Sonia is expected to move. It's just off the coast of Mexico here, several hundreds of miles. It is predicted to move straight off to the west, become a tropical depression on looks like Wednesday morning, Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning time frame. Mexico is back over here to the right on this map. It's out of the frame here. But this is Tropical Storm Sonia and her projected path for the next several days here. It's probably going to move into a little bit more stable water out here, and that's probably cooler waters, and that's probably why it's going to be downgraded to a tropical depression. This is where we're going to take a little bit this is where we're going to look at our Beyond the Forecast segment, where we take a deeper dive into a weather topic or discuss a broader trend. Today we're going to take an in-depth look at Hurricane Melissa. I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what's going on with her and where she's going to wind up. But I'm actually here with a critical update on Hurricane Melissa, which is shaping up to be one of the most dangerous and rapidly intensifying storms of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. As of yesterday evening, Melissa is a powerful Category 4 storm located in the Caribbean, south of Jamaica, with maximum sustained winds of 145 miles per hour. I believe today it was upgraded to a Category 5. Forecasters at the National Hurricane Center warn that Melissa is expected to strengthen even further, potentially reaching Category 5 status before making a direct and catastrophic landfall on Jamaica early Tuesday. Jamaica has never recorded a storm this powerful making a direct hit. After crossing Jamaica, Melissa is then forecast to move across southeastern Cuba late Tuesday and into the southeastern Bahamas by midweek. The main threats from this system are life-threatening and catastrophic. First, the rainfall. Forecasters are predicting truly staggering amounts of rain, with totals potentially exceeding 40 inches in some mountain areas of Jamaica. This will almost certainly trigger devastating flash floods and mudslides. For context, that's over 3 feet of rainfall. Heavy rain and associated flooding have already led to deaths in Haiti and caused significant damage in the Dominican Republic. Next, we have the storm surge. The National Hurricane Center is predicting a life-threatening storm surge of up to 13 feet above ground level along the south coast of Jamaica, with significant surge also possible for southeastern Cuba. This will be accompanied by large destructive waves. Finally, the winds. Hurricane-force winds extend 30 miles from the center of the storm, with tropical storm-force winds reaching out more than 200 miles. In Jamaica, widespread power and communication outages are expected and could last for an extended period. Authorities across the region are on high alert. Jamaica has activated hundreds of shelters, and officials in Cuba and the Bahamas are also preparing. While the current forecast shows the storm moving northeast after Cuba, avoiding a major U.S. East Coast impact, dangerous swells and rip currents will still be a risk for days to come. This is a dire situation for the Caribbean. Residents in the storm's path should be finalizing preparations now and following all official evacuation orders. And we'll continue to bring you the latest updates on Hurricane Melissa as it approaches the islands. I just wanted to touch on this a little bit more. It is the most serious tropical storm, hurricane that we've had of this season. Keep the people here in Jamaica and southeastern Cuba in mind in your prayers and thoughts. They're going to need it. This is going to be a catastrophic storm for Jamaica, located right here. If it does take a direct hit, we will see here in the next day or two. It's going to be incredible. If you've never used this particular map, I put the link to the map here. It's called Zoom Earth, zoom.earth. And you can zoom in and out on the storms. And you can also, this kind of gives you a chart of the forecasted times and the strengths, the categories. It's supposed to be a Category 5 from 1 p.m. yesterday through about 1 a.m. last night. That's what it was forecasted to be. And then by the 31st on Friday, it's supposed to be only a Category 1. Once it moves all the way out here back into the Atlantic Ocean, once it gets beyond the Bahamas over here. But keep these people in mind down here in the Caribbean. This is going to be a catastrophic storm and something we haven't seen in quite some time. that pretty much wraps up this week's weekly weather recon briefing. I want to thank you for tuning in and staying weather aware. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to the weather. You can always stay up to date by following us here on YouTube, Facebook, for additional resources and detailed forecasts. Also, make sure you get on Facebook. Look me up on Facebook. That's the big one that I'm really concentrated on. Like the video. Give me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Hitting the notification bell will get you to be notified of any future videos that I release. I do try to release one of these videos, the Russ's Weather Recon weekly briefing, once a week on Monday evenings at around 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And that's something I didn't mention either, but the time change is coming for most of the country on November 1st at this next Saturday night at 2 a.m. Sunday morning at 2 a.m. So keep that in mind too, folks. But anyway, we'll talk to you next week, and have a good week.